I have not seen enough people making videos about this lens. This is the 7 Artisans 35mm lens. I might have said it wrong. I think it's the 7 Artisans photoelectric 35mm T2.0 lens. I picked this up a few weeks ago, right before a project I had, because I just had gotten this Blackmagic 6K full frame, and I didn't have any lenses. I had an adapter for it, but all my lenses still have like the vignetting because they're made for Super 35 cameras. And I needed something that was made specifically for the L mount that would fit the full frame sensor. Just because it is a low budget lens does not mean it's not good. The quality that I get out of this is incredible. I've used it on a few recent projects. Not only do I love the focal length of 35, and I always have been a fan, but 35 on full frame is different than 35 on Super 35. And even though I like both, a 35 on Super 35 looks more like a 50, and this 35 still maintains the beauty of the 35mm lens. However, you get a little bit more in your frame. And so I actually love using this to just get kind of like wide stuff, but it's not crazy wide like a 12 or a 20 or something like that. 35 is like that perfect medium where it looks portrait, it looks beautiful, but yet you're not like super wide or super tight. So not only is it a good focal length, but the lens itself is really nice. The build quality it just feels nice. It obviously feels heavier and more like sturdy than a photo lens. So right now I'm shooting this on my Sigma 18-35 at around 28mm. That lens feels lighter than this. This has a nice like metal build to it. It's nice and heavy-ish. It's still small, so it's not super heavy. That brings me to my other point. The size is really nice. It's nice and small, so getting this on a gimbal setup and balance with a fully rigged out Cine 6K, it balances very easily because it's so short, it's small, and it's pretty lightweight. The focus ring is very smooth. It works perfectly with my Nucleus M, no issues at all, and it is sharp throughout. So I usually use it around 2.8. I don't really use it at 2.0 too often, especially without ND filters right now for this camera. I've been shooting at higher T-stops, and it just looks great. It's sharp, and I think that's one misconception about prime lenses is you feel like you have to always shoot at T2.0 and ND it down and keep it crispy and all that and have the bokeh. I don't truly believe that that's necessary. I think that some of the better things that I've shot or things that I really enjoy are actually shot at like T4, T6, higher aperture rates, because it's not always about the creamy bokeh and the shallow depth of field. You don't have to use it at T2.0, but having that capability is nice for low light. One thing I do want to talk about is the color difference. I also shoot on DZOs, and I've noticed that DZOs have more of like a film feel to them, a little bit of a warmer tone, whereas this has, to me, a more true color balance. So your whites actually look white. There's not like that yellow cast or anything like that. To me, it's a little more on the cool side, and I prefer that. Lately, I've been trying to get a little bit more into the natural balanced colors and not have the overly warm or overly filmic looking stuff. So this is a great lens for natural colors, sharp image, and for, I believe it was $400. For $400 to get a cinema lens that produces this quality is incredible. So yeah, I think I bought it with the intentions of returning it, but I actually think I'm gonna hold on to it for a little bit. If you're out there and you have a Blackmagic and you're looking to get into the cinema line, maybe you want people to pull focus on your sets and you wanna have your gear rings, your focus ring to be able to pull focus and things like that. I would highly recommend picking up this lens if you're on a budget. $400, it's not bad at all. Most cinema lenses, and especially primes, start at $1,000, $1,200, things like that. So to get this for $400, it's a little bit cheaper, I think, than even Sirui, however you pronounce that. Haven't tried those, but highly recommend. Check out the 7 Artisans 35. I promise you won't be disappointed.